Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time. This is not going to be about books, it's not going to be about songs, it's not going to be about TV and films, it's not going to be about the dogs. This is going to be a video where I just talk for a bit about the NHS, the National Health Service. So I'll tell you why. I just spent the last 5 hours in Queen Alexandra Hospital because my mum had a fall, and so I got home from work and then I literally put my phone on charge because it was dead, and as soon as it came up on charge, I got a phone call from my wife and said, your mum's had a fall, she's down the road, there's someone with her and there's an ambulance on the way. So I went down there, and the ambulance wasn't on the way, but my wife was on the way, and we took her to the hospital in Portsmouth. There's two hospitals, but the main hospital for accidents, emergencies and all that. From then on, from, what is it, 5 o'clock-ish to 10, about 10:30, she's been treated absolutely wonderfully by this amazing team of people. There was a changeover as well, so day staff and night staff. I don't know, I think I saw about 25 different members of staff, different nurses and senior nurses, and just general kind of helpers and stuff as well that were helping with the beds and things like that, and a doctor. And it was just, they were just wonderful, exactly the same way as they were when I was ill, when I went there. I went to hospital a few years ago. It's something that we don't really necessarily take for granted anymore, because I think we're all aware that it's a bit fragile, but it is something that I think if you asked any average British person, they'd say that they absolutely loved the NHS, they love the National Health Service, they love it as a concept, and they love the experience of the treatment you get when you go there, and the people that work there, and it was awesome. And sadly, just to kind of close one part of the story, my mum has broken her shoulder, so she's in there overnight. They're going to look at what they can do. I think they'll need some sort of care plan at home, if someone to visit her and help her to do a daily kind of food and stuff, if she's going to be released before she's properly healed. But the point is, really, one of the things about making a video about the NHS is that I'm aware that I talk to lots and lots of American booktubers. I know there are a lot of people who watch my channel that are American, and I know that not every country has a National Health Service. I think there's quite a few places in Europe that do, so we're not unique. But and I'm pretty sure Canada does, and no, New Zealand does. America doesn't, and America's obviously very proud of the whole kind of independent spirit, that libertarian thing, which gets in the way of some of the social service stuff that could be better, it seems, from this perspective. And the NHS, the National Health Service, was a concept that was born out of the idea of us paying our taxes, and those taxes producing a good service that is free because you paid your taxes, and you don't have to, what's just happened today with me watching my mum being treated in different ways. I mean, she had so many tests, and she had several x-rays, and she had lots of different people seeing her. She had this an ECG test, she had you had a blood pressure test all the time. I mean, there was lots of different things that were going on in those 5 hours, and she's staying there overnight. All these different things that happen. It's free. There's no bill at the end of it, and I personally very strongly believe that should always be the case, that for me, if we're paying our taxes, that's the most sensible thing to do with our taxes, to provide a free health service. And I've been quite lucky in my life, and I haven't needed a health service much. I haven't gone to the hospital much. I've gone to the hospital twice in my life, once 3 years ago and once when I was 18. So I've been lucky. And that means that that all the taxes I've paid, all the national insurance money I've paid to pay for those kind of things, has allowed other people to get treated in hospital. And I love that. The fact that we're all contributing to a pool of money that gets paid for anyone that needs treatment at any point. That, to me, that makes perfect sense. To me, it's common sense. It's not even, I don't think it's an ideology. I think it's common sense. So I wanted to talk about it because I think, as I said, because we're aware that it's at risk of being taken away from us or being reduced, where, you know, there are bits of the NHS being sold under our feet to people like Richard Branson. So I do know that's happening. So I think we don't necessarily take it for granted, but I do think it's worth talking about it and saying that it's a fantastic concept that actually is not weird, it's common sense. And I think that there's more, I understand why there's a more healthy, complex, layered debate about other things being nationalised. I am very much in favour of nationalisation of lots of things, but I understand why that's a different kind of concept. But healthcare is such a basic need in society. We're going to work together and build a society where we help each other out. Hospitals and doctors, nurses, their wages, the whole process of having a baby, going through some sort of any kind of treatment you get for anything you might get, anyone would agree, who are used to that kind of service. Yeah, I absolutely think my taxes should go to help that person out, and it's very, I think it's very backward thinking, oh well, that person should just pay for it themselves, and if they can't pay for it, they shouldn't have the treatment. It's just bizarre. So yeah, a horrible thing happened to my mum. She had a fall and she's hurt herself, but I tried to reassure her that, try to relax because you're in good hands and you're fine. You're just in pain. It's a different thing, and you'll heal. But it's not nice. It's quite a horrible thing that's happened, and she's up there on her own. But with fantastic staff and a health service that we love in this country, and I'm sure all the other countries that have a national health service love what they have as well. I just think it's a really important thing to talk about and say, I don't know, praise the concept. So yeah, we'll be going up tomorrow to and taking stuff up for her. I don't know how long she's going to stay because they're also very much, if they think you can heal at home and they've done everything they think they can do for you, they will use the beds for other things. So it's not like you just stay. It's not like you stay there and you're perfectly well but still in hospital. They will have you there for the minimum amount of time. So she probably will go home and need help, and she won't be able to use one side of her body much because of the pain of what's happened. But yeah, tomorrow she'll have more of an idea of how serious that is and how what the process of healing will be and the pain management and stuff. So yeah, I thought it was worth talking about it, really, just to talk about the NHS. I am going to talk more about social services, the idea of taxes going into a pool of money that then gets given back to the people in what they are provided with, schools and hostels and police service and that kind of thing. Because there's 2 books in the Banned Books project that I want to talk about the books and then spark off about some more of an ideological discussion about where the books stand in my development and I think historical development. So what I'm talking about is Jacques Rousseau's book the social contract. And I think in the last 10 minutes, I've been talking about a social contract. So Jacques Rousseau's book about that is really brilliant and very important. And then I'm also going to reread the Communist Manifesto written by Karl Marx as well. And I want to talk about that as well, and the concept of a Marxist approach to the world, or your worldview, and how that can lead to improving social services and needs of the many outweighing the needs of the few, to quote Spock. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say. But please comment below if either you live in a country with a health service and you think it's awesome, or you live in a country without one, and either you say, no, what we've got is great, or yeah, I wish we had that. It'll be interesting to know what you write in the comments. But for now, thanks for watching. Stay curious, everybody, and stay safe.